Hello, hello, hi, 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 hi. Hi, everybody. I've got my computer here. Hello, Jennifer. How are we doing? Oh my gosh. I am so much happier over here right now. Yay, 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 yay to the two of you. So happy over here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. It has been bonkers over there. Just bonkers. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Lee. Good to see you. Lee, Yogi. Oh my gosh, Buzzing Bee. Hello, happy Friday, Bill. Happy Friday, Suze. Yay, we made it over here, everybody. We made it. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's been all kinds of weather going on. There's been all kinds of crazy going on. Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Well, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. So, hopefully, everybody is making it through the week. It has been a bit of a struggle this week, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I think it will continue to be a bit of a struggle. I'm adjusting my chair, everybody. I'm so excited. I don't have to deal with a puzzle piece over here, everyone. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello, June. Hello. Good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad to see everyone making their way over. So this will definitely be a weekly live stream when I'm coming over here. So I will be here over on the tube of you once a week for sure. Once a week, maybe even more than that. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. We'll leave it at that in order to figure out what's going on. So it's storming like crazy there. Yeah, we've got some yikes. We've got some stormy weather. Stormy weather coming through. Not as bad as we've had in the past, but yeah, we've definitely got some weather. So, well, welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Oh my gosh, am planning to kind of do a recap today of what's been going on this week. But I also want to make sure I do a full Q&A because there has been so much going on. It's gotten to be a lot. Yeah, did it restore your gifting? Yes. So my gifting was just suspended for that one live is all. It didn't have any strikes against my account. Thank you, Suze. I appreciate that heads up. But it was just the gifts were suspended for that live, which was fine, which, that's absolutely fine. That's no big deal for me. I just, my only true concern ever is really just making sure that the account stays in place so people can find me. So it was no big deal other than, the repeated interruptions, but that was fine. This is going to be a rocky few more months, everybody. I feel like this is just kind of the beginning of how rocky things are going to be here. We have a lot of creators who are getting targeted. We've got some trolls coming now en masse. So I think we will definitely have some more problems here, everyone. So we're in for a rocky road for sure, but we'll make it through. Yeah, I agree, Lisa. It's a weird situation. I'm not sure, but I don't usually do a lot of lives where we're watching stuff, although we've done Supreme Court, arguments. I've done, other various things, and it's never been a problem, but who knows these days what's going on. So we'll see. Hello, John. Good to see you. So we'll see how things go. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, thanks, Suze. Yeah, I didn't even post a post over there. I tell you, I'm just kind of really trying to calm things down over there. Things have just gotten really it's hot, everybody. It's gotten hot. It's gotten hot over there. So I'm trying to kind of move over here for a little while and take a little bit of a trying to be extra cautious. I think so. And I think it was part of it came out from the request, that CNN had that the debate itself wasn't done so much. But yes, I should probably put a post up over there. Keep her bag around with me at all times and breathe. Oh, I know. Oh, Heather. Oh, I know. Have you been getting messages that are threatening? So I've been getting messages that need people to be blocked, and that's fine. I've not gotten anything that has elevated to a level where I've needed to report it again yet. That has not reached the levels yet, so I'm doing okay with that. Oh, needed alive. Oh, well, welcome in. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. When you get bigger numbers, as we have over on TikTok, which is great because we can reach more people, but it also means, the more people you get to, the more people get upset with you. So, yeah, it's kind of been like a what situation. You gotta kind of just be careful, but I'm not overly concerned. At this point, I'm pretty careful again with my anonymity, so I'm very careful about that. So that makes me just feel extra careful and safe. So, yeah, no, I had a bit of a problem before when the glitch started. I had a bit of a problem there, but that got sorted, so we're doing okay. First time over on YouTube. Well, hello, Misty. Well, welcome. It's a lot calmer over here on the tube. we spend some time on the tube, and it's enjoyable because it's relaxing. We just can chat and learn and do a lot of Q&As and unsavory people. Yes, quite right, VC, quite right. But it's much more calmer over here. And so we really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Since Rumple joined, I know, I feel like that too. I feel like that the timing of that is not a coincidence. So don't have to have your heads on a swivel, true. And you can put it up on a bigger screen for anyone who's interested. So I have been, and the last time I was on, I had been talking about, I had planned to actually fully launch my second part of my, process here in September, and a soft launch in August, but I'm just early, and I'm fine with that. But I do plan to have one full-length video up here a week, and then I'll probably will do a couple of shorts. The algorithm works a lot differently, everybody, so I just can't put out the same quantity of content, which is great in some ways, and so I'm able to just put out one kind of long form, really good piece rather than all of the extraneous stuff. So, oh, you're watching the motion. Yeah, I didn't watch the motion. I pulled the filing. I haven't watched it because I'm like, what is happening? So yes, the Baldwin news, everybody. Yes. So hopefully everybody who's interested. The Alec Baldwin case it's been ridiculous since the beginning. But what has happened is we had a motion to dismiss filed last night, about 8 o'clock Western, right? West Coast time. And they were saying we have exculpatory evidence that wasn't given to us, which is a classic Brady rule violation, which is classic and a huge no-no. You're not allowed to do that. So they've asked for a dismissal at this point. Very hot. Even not political lives are banned. Yeah, Navy vet. I'm telling you what, it's spicy over there. It's hot. It's hot and unfriendly. So we're happy over here. We're cooling off over here in the land of the tube, and we're happy about that. That is a much more pleasant environment right now. So people don't have to fight each other to be able to learn about stuff. They withheld evidence, filed it under a different case number and everything. Oh, I know, Sarah. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you what. I've got my eye on this particular piece. So I will be watching the Baldwin situation, because if this falls out the true way, and I'm just moving around to find the rest of my paperwork, everybody. I apologize for my microphone, but this is an excellent example of what you don't do as a prosecutor when you've got exculpatory evidence. Like, you don't just kind of sit on that and bring it out as like an aha moment. And, you know, you can't do that. So there shouldn't be any surprise testimony. That's just, you know, not how the game works. So that was a big no-no. We will see how that happens. Did you argue with that? Oh, that's all right. Oh, don't worry about it, Dee. No, don't worry about it. You know, all we have to do is we just make adjustments, right? When you find a bit of a barrier, you just hop over it, go under it, go around it, and we figure out another way. So now, I've not seen the ruling on it. I have only read the motion, and I've only posted on the motion, and then I've been kind of like neck deep in my other stuff. Did she seems flighty, the prosecutor, really? So, Sarah, did she dismiss it then? Are we dismissed at this point? She dismissed with prejudice. Oh my gosh, Jennifer. Really? All right. I missed that step. I missed that. I saw the motion, but I didn't see the dismissal. Oh my gosh. I thought they had left for the weekend. I have not seen the filing. So she dismissed with prejudice. Okay, oh my gosh, I've not seen the filing. I'll have to get that one out. Oh my gosh, everybody. All right, I missed it. Yeah, I missed that too, Sarah. I know. Okay, so with prejudice means you can't bring the case again. If you're dismissed with prejudice, it means you have screwed up to a level where the judge has said you are not allowed to bring this case again. That's huge. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I missed the dismissal. Hold on here. Baldwin dismissal. Let me see here. 32 minutes ago. Yikes, everybody. This is a big moment. Let me see if I can pull the PDF itself. Let me see here. I'm not sure. I can't find my other. Okay. Case dismissed. This is a big deal because this case has just been going on and on. It's been a mess. There's been so many problems here. So I'm just checking real quick to see if I can find that dismissal real quick, everybody. Yeah, it says late discovery of evidence in this case has impeded it. Correct. But I'm looking for the file itself. So 1 minute. Let me see here. Breaks down. She may have dismissed from the bench. Yeah, she has dismissed, agreeing with the lawyers. Yeah, I don't think she's even had time to write a dismissal order. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to move from the chat for a minute. So it's from the bench. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so we do have a couple of moderators over here, although we don't really need them to have their full gear on. We're thankful for that. Lucky for that, for sure. But they are with us in case we need it. So, yeah, that was a big moment. So, all right, Alec Baldwin, that's a big moment. That whole case has been quite a mess. All right, so we'll have to dig into that a little bit more. I need to wait for some more information to come in from the judge on that. I don't see an order that's been filed that's publicly available yet, but I'll need to do a post on that. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I wanted to welcome you all here to the Tube of You. Now, I want to also do a little bit of a review of some of the highlights for this week of what we've had going on in law land. Well, today, obviously, the highlight's going to be Alec Baldwin, right? That's a really big moment. He should have checked the live rounds. Oh, the case was such a mess. Oh, it was a mess. It was such a huge, awful mess. So probably the biggest news of the week, though, of course, are going to be our articles of impeachment. So we had our articles of impeachment that just came out. I did do a post on those, and I did a live over on my other place, and then posted it here. So if anyone's interested in actually hearing what the articles say, you can take a look at that. But that was pretty big. That was pretty big news. We have not only Justice Thomas, but also Justice Alito. We have a couple of different ways that we went. We went down the road of failure to recuse for personal bias, and then failure to recuse for having a monetary interest in the cases. So both of those were going on. So that was pretty big. Yes. So of course, everybody, I tell you what, I just don't, yeah, I'm still waiting to see the official filing of it, of the order dismissing it. But right now it's looking like, and this isn't the first time that case has been dismissed. I'm going to go back and forth between the Baldwin situation as well as with regular stuff, because that's really huge news. Huge news going on here. So I'm just popping over one more time to see if I can right. Hold on, everybody. I apologize. I've got to hop over here. Yeah, see, I thought the judge had sent everybody home, but yeah, we had a surprise motion that was filed last night. This is really huge news, everybody. So just 1 second, if you please. Okay, well, I have it here. Let me take a look in here. Dun, dun, dun. I've got so much in here. I've got Bannon. I've got New York. Did I have nope? Nope. All right, well, sorry about that, everybody. I just do not have it. It was dismissed. Yes, I agree, and that's what it's saying as well. I just do not have it. I can't find the filing itself. So at this point, I believe, yes, it's fair to say it's been dismissed, everyone. I think that is a fair assessment here. I just had... All right. Yeah. So I'm in a little bit of a different setup over here. I'm so invested now. Oh, I know, everybody. I know. Could this now help the armorer? No, well, I don't think so, because that exculpatory evidence had to do with him. Was my understanding. So I'm so frustrated with myself because I just had this at my fingertips, everyone. And then I put it somewhere, and now I cannot seem to find it again. So let me see here. I don't have it. So my question, could a new House of Representatives bring up impeachments of all the SCOTUS? No. I'm sorry. Do you mean could all the justices be impeached all at once? Is that what you mean, maybe that? Because that answer is yes. There's no limit on the number of people who can be impeached at one time. Yeah. So, hold on, everybody here. I'm just. All right. Here we go. Let's see. 1 second, please. I'm going to do one more. Just 1 second, please. No worries. Okay, thanks everybody. I apologize. Because I'm in a little different place here. I've got my stuff is a little bit different. All right, here we go. So, downloads. Hold on here, everybody. Documents. Yeah. Well, I'm really frustrated because I usually have the documents at the tip of my fingers, everyone. Yeah, okay, all right, arguing misconduct. Did we find it? Okay. I'm still looking. 1 second. All right, everybody, I may have to give up on my journey here. I may have to give up on it. I had it in my hands, and now I no longer have it. Yikes. Let me see here. Yeah, I just do not have a filing yet. All right, I've done the best I can, everyone. I'm going to have to, let's see here. Best would be if Anita Hill could hand deliver. Oh, oh, I think so. That would be very interesting. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to let it go, everybody. I apologize. This is such huge news, and I just had it in my hands just like 5 minutes ago, so I could read it to you, so I could explain it. But unfortunately, I am just having my having an issue here. So let me do one last look, everyone, and see, maybe it got mixed over here somehow. Maybe. We'll just double check here. Oh my goodness gracious, everybody. Goodness. Here we go. You just put me in a different place, and all of a sudden I'm just can't find anything. Woo. All right, well, and that, I have this one here. That's not it. No, that's not it. Nope, and no. So, oh my gosh, it's not there either. All right, everybody, I apologize. Oh, wait, I got one more place I could look. Let's just check one more place. Let's see if we have it. I've got this. No. Let's see. And that. If the Lindell case, no, here it is. So I have this, I have our slave map versus the voting map, and then, oh, I found it! Oh my gosh, I just found it, everybody. I was next to the slave map, sorry. All right, I did find it, woo! All right, I need an applause, everybody. Oh, that was a labor of love there. All right, sorry everybody. Apologies. I knew I had it. I knew I had it. It was in here somewhere. All right. Let's take a look at it, everyone. We've got a dismissal here for Alec Baldwin. Let's take a look at the motion then. I think that's important. Yay, thanks for the applause, everybody. I kept thinking, like, well, I have every piece of paper imaginable. How could I not have this? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, give me a minute. It's a short motion, but yeah, let's take a look at it. Now that we've got this reporting, and I'm looking and I'm seeing reporting across the board saying that this has been dismissed. So I think it's fair to go ahead and look at the motion then that what was the basis for dismissal. All right, here we go, everybody. Here we go, we're on it. We're in it to win it. Oh my gosh, sometimes I crack myself up over here. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, everyone's with me. Gotta make sure. All right, so can everyone read it, or do we need to get closer here? We need to get closer? We can do that. Oh, I'm really excited. This is huge. This case was really bonkers. All right, let's see. We can get in here. There we go. Excellent. All right, there we go. I think we're good. Everyone can read it okay? Let's go through it, shall we? Let's see what's going on. All right. So we've got State of New Mexico versus Alexander Ray Baldwin the third. I know we can't respond to comments. Oh, I know it's difficult. I know we'll work our way through it, everyone. All right, so Alexander Ray Baldwin the third, and this was filed again last night. We have defendant Alec Baldwin's expedited motion for dismissal and sanctions under Brady, Giglio, and Rule 5-501 of the New Mexico rules here. Now, Brady has to do with our exculpatory evidence, right? If the prosecutor has any exculpatory evidence, they have to give it to the other side. Giglio has to do with exculpatory evidence regarding witnesses. So, or not necessarily exculpatory, but impeachment evidence. That has to be also given over. These are the two rules. So if we start here, let's see what happened. Everyone, stop me if you've heard this. God. Sorry, my filter on the tube is a little bit less than on the talk. So here we go. Background. From the moment they arrived on scene at Bonanza Creek Ranch on October 21st of 2021, law enforcement officers focused almost exclusively on a single question. How did live ammunition end up in a movie set, on a movie set where the presence of live ammunition is, in other words of prosecutors, incomprehensible? But the SFSO and the state have concealed from Baldwin that there was evidence that the live round came from Seth Kenny, a known person of interest and supplier of ammunition to the Rust set. So this is the big moment here. Specifically, immediately after Gutierrez Reed's trial, Troy Tesk, a retired police officer and judge pro tempore in Mojave County, Arizona, delivered a collection of live ammunition to the Santa Fe Sheriff's Office, where they accepted by CST Marissa Popel. The state had been aware and had access to Teskey for years. Yikes. Seth Kennedy called Teskey during a November 1st, 2021 interview when then Detective Alexandria Hancock, after which Tesk sent a picture of sampling of ammunition that did not match the rounds on set. That image was passed from Kennedy to Hancock, and there was no further no further recorded follow-up there. Oh, saw the video today. Excellent. In November 2nd of 2023, pretrial interview with Teskey, the rounds were again discussed, this time with Special Prosecutor Morrissey. During the interview, Morrissey specifically asked if Teskey would give her ammunition from the batch that Reed and Kennedy had used to source their live ammunition for the Texas movie set. Teskey, who at the time did not know if the ammunition would match the round that killed Hutchins, agreed to provide it, and Morrissey closed out her interview stating that she would work with law enforcement to collect it, the implication of which was that if she ever got the evidence, she would turn it over to Baldwin. So this is a really huge deal. This is a really huge deal. Ooh. Morrissey never followed up, and the state elected not to retrieve the rounds, even though Teskey had told the state they could retrieve them at any time. The trial of Gutierrez Reed went forward, and at its conclusion on March 6th of 2024, Teskey delivered the collection of rounds to Papel, where it was taken into custody of the state by Papel and her supervisor, Lieutenant Brian Brandel. The evidence, however, was not inventoried to the Rust case. Oh my gosh, everybody. Yeah, this could affect Gutierrez's case. Absolutely. Yeah. That's bad. That's really bad. It's Teskey, not Turkey. Oh, well, whatever. I'll just keep saying the same one. You know what I'm talking about. Instead, at Brandel's instruction, Papel was told to log it as documented information rather than physical evidence. What? That's huge. As she was told to log it under a different case file. What? So that it would never be disclosed to the defense. Teskey told Papel that among the rounds that the SFSO took into its inventory and logged under a different case number are Starline brass casings with nickel primers matching the live bullet that killed Hutchins. Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. SFSO's knowledge and possession of the rounds were not disclosed in supplemental disclosures, nor were they presented when the defense requested to view all ballistics evidence at an evidence viewing on April 16th of 2024. According to the testimony of CST Papel, they were tagged with an independent number unaffiliated with the Rust investigation. These facts were elicited on cross-examination after Papel had unequivocally testified that all the evidence that had been collected in the case had been inventoried, was stored in the vault at the SFSO station, and could be brought into court at any time. Papel also admitted that the SFSO prepared a supplemental report about this evidence, which was never disclosed to the defense. Wow, this is classic. That's a huge violation. Yeah, I'm wondering, VC. That's a good question. That's really shady, everybody. Yikes. She can definitely use this on appeal. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, she can have her verdict, ask for her verdict to be overturned. Wow. On redirect, and this all came out during testimony here. Oh my gosh. On redirect, Morrissey immediately demonstrated her familiarity with the above facts, reminded Papel of Teskey's name, and sought to help Papel reframe her cover-up as an ordinary investigative decision. Oh my gosh. Here's the argument. Here's the state argument, or the defense's argument here. All of them were involved, should have charges brought up on them. Absolutely, Navy vet. This is really bad. Well, you know, everybody, I don't want to say, I'm always suspicious, and I'm just going to put it out there. I'm always suspicious when We get charged, we get dismissed, then we get recharged again, and then there's a question of dismissal or not dismissal. That is always suspicious, always a suspicious thing. So it doesn't matter who you are or what charge it is. If you're charged, dismissed, then charged again, there's something wrong with the case. It doesn't mean that, you still didn't do it or you shouldn't be brought to justice, but that's always a flag to say, hey, we've got something weird going on with this case. All right, here's our argument. So, there's several people that have been kind of going through this situation. The state affirmatively concealed evidence potentially pointing to an external source of the live ammunition, Seth Kenney. Because the evidence would be favorable to Baldwin, the remedy for the state's misconduct should be dismissal. Baldwin was unaware of the risk that live ammunition had been brought to the set of Rust. To support its theory that Baldwin should have known of that risk, the state is attempting to establish a link between Baldwin and the source of the live ammunition. The only way it could do that is by demonstrating that the live rounds were brought to the set by the movie's armorer, given the state's assertion that Baldwin should have been aware of her youth and inexperience, and therefore the possibility that she brought live rounds to the set. Evidence that the live rounds came from Kenney is therefore favorable to Baldwin, which is why the state buried it. No, most certainly doesn't help the justice system, but although this is how it's supposed to work, if you screw your case up, if you start screwing around like this, you need to be called out on it. And, Baldwin's attorneys are calling him out hard on it, and that's how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to do that. The state not only failed to disclose the evidence, it affirmatively hid it under a file number that is unaffiliated with the Rust case, and then failed to disclose the only documentation that it claims to have created that would have alerted Baldwin to the existence of the evidence. What? That's pretty bad. Simply put, the state was provided highly exculpatory evidence that supports Baldwin's argument of intervening cause. It also supports Baldwin's case that the SFSO's investigation was biased, improperly motivated, and incompetent, which the court has already ruled is relevant and admissible. So the court's already held that. Those are some pretty harsh words, everybody. Well, Olga, I tell you what, this is rare. This does not happen very often, but it does happen. And when it happens, it has to get called out. It's got to get called out and cleaned up. And the harmed parties have to be, compensated for it in whatever way that they can. This actually could be a malicious prosecution civil case. We keep having all of these bologna sandwich charges in the Trump cases, but if you actually have a situation where you've got malice involved, you could sue. You could absolutely sue. It does happen. It does happen. But it's the exception. It's not the rule. Yet the state concealed the evidence from Baldwin, and then it misrepresented the evidence that it collected. This conduct is egregious and requires dismissal. Citing the case law here, Davidson, the district court did not abuse its discretion in relying on its inherent authority to dismiss with prejudice as a sanction in response to the prosecution's repeated violation of the court's discovery orders, the prosecution's failure to disclose exculpatory information, and the prosecution's dishonesty in an attempt to cover up this misconduct. So they're citing case law here. So that may be why we're seeing this with prejudice dismissal going on out there. Prosecutor took the stand and gave her testimony. It was weird. She was talking and telling her story, and the defense was questioning her. And then all of a sudden the judge gives a ruling. Yeah, the judge didn't believe her. If a judge is interrupting someone, they're like, we're done. We're done. We are finished. Oh my gosh. They're going to name the sheriff's office Baldwin by the time they're done. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even imagine. Oh my gosh. I mean, in a wrongful death case, everyone, I mean, you have to be so extremely careful. You really do. And yeah, so, all right, the next up we have the Giglio case. Whether the non-disclosure was a result of negligence or design, it's the responsibility of the prosecutor. The prosecutor gets called out on that. Other than the legal, and I'm not a huge Baldwin fan, the emotional distress he must have suffered. Oh my gosh, for years. For years. The emotional distress going on in this case. The state has unilaterally withheld evidence favorable to Baldwin's defense, including evidence dealing with credibility that could be expected to have a significant impact on the jury, while failing to provide any reasonable explanation for its non-disclosure, even if the state's failures have been unintentional, which is unlikely, so there's a little bit of a dig. They have been caused by the state's own intrasanguines in refusing to facilitate Baldwin's access to the discovery he's entitled to, and are at a minimum sufficiently reckless to warrant dismissal. This information was required to be disclosed under Brady, Giglio, and Rule 5-501. Under the local rules, the state has repeatedly violated its obligations under these principles and rules. Oh my gosh, this is bad. This is bad. No, this is not. This is Keith. This is not on TikTok. My live here is only on the tube. In the alternative, Baldwin is also entitled to advert to an adverse inference instruction that the state concealed this evidence because it knew it would be favorable to Baldwin's defense. Citing case law, under this remedy, the court should instruct the jury that it must regard Papel's testimony that the live rounds from Russ set did not match the live rounds that Teskey delivered to the SFSO. Oh, that's huge. This is a motion filed yesterday from Baldwin's team. All right, so this motion was just filed. This is the motion to dismiss that prompted the movement here. And then here's the conclusion. The court should dismiss the case with prejudice, or in the alternative, issue an adverse inference instruction and inform the jury that it is striking Papel's testimony. So they needed the full testimony in order to get to this point. So it was the testimony that had to be brought out in court in order to finally get to the bottom of what was going on in this case. Yeah, this is the motion to dismiss. This is the motion to dismiss here, everybody, based off of Brady violation. Hope the prosecutor got her belly. Oh my gosh, I know, right? She has the FBI test the bullets too. Didn't tell the defense. What? Wow, this is really bad. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad, everybody. This is why we have the Brady rule. You know, the original Brady case that was involved here, the evidence, the judge, the U.S. Supreme Court at the time that they functioned properly was like, look, this is completely inappropriate for a prosecutor to withhold evidence that they know you did not commit this offense. You cannot do that, and it is just established law now. Yeah, this is really bad. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. I cannot say this does not happen in our system, because it does. It absolutely does. Yeah, it's nuts. I agree. Nuts. And I think, too, I mean, everybody needs to be sanctioned here. We need sanctions all around. The prosecutors need to be sanctioned. The cops need to be suspended that were involved in it. Everybody needs to have their accountability. Lawsuits should be going. This is one of those cases too where you're like, well, that's too bad. We tried and our case got dismissed with prejudice. That's our sanction. No, this is a case where you follow through on the harm that's been done to everybody involved in this. The state should want justice, not to win. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's their job. That is their job. Made my weekend definitely staying off media. Oh, absolutely. I think it's really good for everybody to stay off of social media, or not just media, but a lot of places for sure. How could they sleep at night? You know, it's interesting because I think, you know, when you get so far into a situation, and I think a lot of this is what Mr. Trump does, or his team does as well, that, you know, the lies become the truth eventually, and they have to in your own mind in order to kind of be able to go forward. So yeah, I definitely wants to be a lawyer, and he just said shady spots always get the most visitors. That's the best line ever. That's the best line. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this was awful. And again, this is about a woman in a terribly tragic, horrible situation that got turned into some kind of a personal or some kind of a situation here with the prosecutors involved where this is just awful. This is awful. This is a horrendous situation. I think they just couldn't let him go. Well, and that tends to happen. And again, this is an example though. We learn from this. This is what it looks like when you have a bad prosecutor. You got a bad prosecutor with too much power. You've got cops that are not good. This isn't good. They should have stood up at any point and said, well, obviously this is evidence that needs to be filed properly. The cops didn't stand up against a crap prosecutor, and this got too far. So it's got to get called out. It's got to get talked about. This should be blasted all over the media. This should be everywhere. Everybody should be talking about this because it can't happen. Yeah, Lisa, there was so much going on in the Karen Reed case that I couldn't keep up with it. So I had to put it aside until I had some more definitive answers because there's a lot of fishiness going on there. There's a lot of fishy going on. I wonder how Trump will use this. Well, I think that's a fair question to ask at this point. Yeah, I mean, it was awful. No, Sarah, it was awful. It was awful. Now, I didn't watch the Armorer's trial. So for those of you that watched that, I mean, this would have a huge effect on her trial as well. So if it comes back that, I do not know exactly what the charges were for that, and if that evidence would have had a huge impact, I would imagine it would. I couldn't figure out how that couldn't have a huge impact. Then, she's got time served going on. Yes, so we've got the motion to dismiss in the Alec Baldwin case for a Brady violation, and the reporting is saying the judge has dismissed it. So again, I don't have that filed because it just happened, but I have I have this one here. Watch the trial too. They used her trial in this case. Yikes. Well, and again, what's happening is that we had testimony just happening in this trial where testimony has brought out this evidence, this information that they had kept from the defense. So it came out during the trial. Like it was the cops that messed up beyond just the prosecutor not knowing the docs were given to his defense. I agree. Oh, absolutely, Jennifer. Absolutely. The cops messed up big time. The cops messed up. Now, the prosecutor can, take the case and run with it, but we've got multiple levels to catch, to make sure that innocent people don't go to prison. And one level's with the cops, and that level gets broken, then you go to the prosecutors. That level gets broken, then you go to the judges. That level's broken, then you go to the appellate judges, and you keep working through until you get to the very top, usually, in order to make sure that innocent people aren't put into prison. And in this particular situation, we absolutely have a cop situation. Glad it came to light, though. At least the system caught it right. And this is what's supposed to happen. I mean, when it comes to catching bad plays like this, when it comes to catching bad acts, this is how it's supposed to happen. Right, you're supposed to have a legitimate reason, a legitimate filing, legitimate backing up of what's going on, and proper paperwork, proper filings, and then you go forward on it. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you, Daisy May. I wasn't sure this would have ever been a criminal trial either, but I thought, wow, maybe the prosecutor had something. But again, anytime you've got a case that's being dropped and then picked up again and then dropped again, there's a flag. There's a flag on the play, and you can keep going, but you just are going to be extra skeptical, is what I would say to that. Intent from the... Yeah, the intent. Well, and that's what's going to be assessed when it comes to malicious prosecution situations. Any kind of lawsuits down the road, that intent will be all set out there. The court's corrupt. Well, right. I tell you what, my field's taking a hit, everybody. taking a hit, and rightfully so. Because if you screw stuff up, then you need to take the hit. It happened quickly. Well, I mean, the motion's pretty thorough, and it's because that testimony came out. And so as soon as that testimony came out, they put together their motion here, and then we had it filed at 7:52 p.m. last night. And that was it. I mean, once it was filed and put out there, absolutely. But on the prop master, not on the actor producer. Well, it seems like, though, we have an intervening cause, and that's a legal standard. If we have an intervening cause that breaks causation between one actor and another, then one person and another, then the original person no longer is responsible for the harm. Could take notes. Exactly right, VC, exactly right. Although Nada's was dismissed. So that's what's going on in that case, everybody. That's a pretty big moment here. That's why the witness seemed hostile. Yeah. The motion came from the defense being sent the picture last night. Ooh, okay. Interesting. This should be the big news of the weekend, everybody. This should absolutely start the discussion of what is happening, what is Brady rules, what is a prosecutor's requirements to be a prosecutor. That's what this should do, hopefully. Hopefully. With that, the props person hands you, well, right, exactly. I mean, what kind of causation, what kind of responsibility do you have? Exactly. I agree, everybody. So with that, okay. With that then, could have been over months ago. Oh yeah, I agree, VC. It shouldn't have, in my opinion, it shouldn't have been refiled. I think they might have known something wasn't quite right when they refiled it. In my opinion. So thanks for covering. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm glad we talked about it. I would not have known until after this live and clicked on and been like, wow, it was dismissed. My goodness gracious. So that was pretty good information, so we could go through that and figure out what had happened here. All right, everybody. So I don't know, everybody. We got a new filing, out of the state of New York for Mr. Trump. Oh, we're back again in the criminal case. Yikes. So, and just to kind of recap for this week, what I've been going over and trying to catch everybody up on is what's happening with all of Mr. Trump's cases. All right, we've got tons. We've got our 4 cases. We've got all these filings going on. So this is the most recent one. Hydration, yes. I know Trump is exhausting. So we're going to hit it and then move on. So we're going to just run up, smack it in the face, and then run away, okay? So here's New York. Let me just give you a quick overview of what he's filed here. In New York, this is a criminal case where we've set the sentencing. It has been moved until September. Right. So he's going to file his business, and then we're going to have the state hear their business. But I think it's interesting to see what his stance is going to be. So we're going to be hearing a lot about it. And so, why not? Why not talk about it? So first of all, he's got pre-trial litigation regarding his presidential immunity. So he's got pre-trial motions where he renewed his presidential immunity objection. And if we all remember, the immunity objection was not filed timely, first of all. Second of all, and that's another question, actually, everybody. Let's take a minute. Let's think about that. Let's talk that through. So if you have absolute immunity, let's just phrase this out. Let's draw it out. If you have absolute immunity, but you don't plead it as part of your case in time, do you still have it? That's a question that I've got. So we have immunity, absolute and presumptive immunity over official conduct over here. All right. So in order to use the immunity, In order to use immunity on any case, you have to plead it. You have to say, I'm immune. Like, you don't just get it. You have to file it with the court. Is everyone following me on that? So that's why I'm having some questions. So, all right, if you have, we've had this before, right? Where you have the act, you have the intent, and that equals the crime. And then you subtract from the crime, so you committed the crime, but you say it's okay, I did the crime because I have a defense. One of the defenses you would use would be like self-defense, right? Or defense of others, and so on. Or you would say, I'm immune. All right, so here's your immunity. That's as a defense. It doesn't mean you didn't do the act, or you didn't do the intent, or you didn't do the crime. It means that you're excused because you are immune, right? Bringing out the whiteboard. Exactly. So here's my question then, and this is what I think is going to happen in New York. This is my guess in New York, everybody. Right. That's the snark. Exactly right. So if you are going to use self-defense, or if you're going to say you are a diplomat, let's just use that, diplomat, or even something easier, let's say husband-wife immunity. All right, if you're going to use that, you have to file. You have to file that you're going to use it. File the defense. And under our rules, there's a certain date you have to file it by. All right, so if you don't file it by that date, you miss the procedural rule, deadline, and then you cannot use it. Right. Right. So here's my question. Here's my question, everybody. They're saying, okay, Supreme Court's like, we have absolute immunity. By the way, VC, this chart's amazing. But absolute immunity for whatever's here, whatever they're, spitting at us down here. We don't even know. Absolute immunity. But we have official conduct and we have unofficial conduct. But if you have a crime, you have to plead your immunity. You have to file paperwork saying you're immune. And in order to file that paperwork, you have to file it by a certain date. Right. That's just the rules. So we got several questions going on. There's several questions here. One is, if he misses the date, the deadline to file his immunity, then does he still have it? All right, so you missed the date, which is what he did. Then do you still have it? And then the question is, well, it's an absolute immunity for the president. But then I would say, my argument would be, what if you miss the deadline for a jury trial? What if you miss your jury trial deadline and you have a bench trial? Or you come back and you say, I want my jury trial. Like, rules are rules, right? If you don't file requesting your jury trial, you lose that right. If you don't file requesting your immunity on time, you lose that right. Am I right? I mean, this is just basic legal 101. Just basic law. So before all of this presidential immunity stuff got tossed up in New York, all right? His presidential immunity stuff started with the DC. With the DC case, he started, changing classification levels with his mind in Florida, whatever. But this case of the hush money case, the fraud case, had already been going. And he didn't even bring up this issue of immunity in time. So it wasn't timely. So the whole thing here is that you didn't plead your defense in time. You missed your date. So it's like he didn't ask for a jury in time, is what happened, first of all. And then second of all, the judge said, and even if you hadn't missed your deadline, it does not apply here. Those were the two rulings in New York on immunity. Isn't that common sense? I worry about common sense at the moment. SCOTUS would probably say he has presumptive. Well, that's my other question though, because, right, when we're looking into immunity, we can presume that there is some kind of presumptive immunity. But again, even with presumptive immunity, it has to be raised. I mean, the court can't itself just automatically say you can use immunity in this case, whether or not it's official or unofficial. Like, you have to ask for it to be official or unofficial conduct first. Now, what kind of conduct and that kind of conduct, having that presumptive immunity and that absolute immunity, that comes next. But the first step is that you have to have this question of, was it official or was it not official conduct? Private or official conduct? That's your first step. And in order to walk down your first step, you have to plead that out. There are deadlines for a reason. I agree, Navy vet. I agree. So I guess I'm trying to find an anchor in this crazy hurricane right now that is the legal field. I'm trying to find something that makes sense. And to me, it doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States. If you miss your deadline for asking for a jury, you don't get your jury. Like, you just don't get it, right? I mean, in the end, the procedural rules are what get everybody. I mean, am I right? Back me up, everybody. Back me up here. The only things that seems to have a deadline is breed. Well, true, but I mean, we have a defense deadlines. Once trial is set, there's deadlines. I mean, we have all of the deadlines. We still have to follow the deadlines. So if there weren't deadlines, our court would be crazier. True story, Cynthia. So when we start walking through this mess of New York, I just want you all to keep in mind, there are two issues going on in New York. The first one is going to be, well, this had nothing to do with his official, or it was unofficial conduct. True, but we don't even get to ask that question because he didn't even ask the type of conduct. Like, he didn't even ask that. He missed his deadline to even ask it. So he made all of his other deadlines when it came to, blah, 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 blah. He made all those deadlines, fine. But if you miss your deadline to plead something, it's over. You're Alice in Wonderland. I know, everybody. I know, right? So, I mean, again, it doesn't matter if you're a Supreme Court judge. If you miss your filing date, you miss your filing date. That's all it is. There's nothing in anything anywhere that says that you get an exception for your filing dates, for your due dates. He'll lie and say he asked. So that, of course, is going to be his big issues. So they're going to say the timing of this. So when he brought up his presidential immunity, so bringing up the presidential immunity question, he's going to ask that over and over and over again. He's going to say, I brought it up, you denied it, I brought it up. So he brought up, let's just make sure we know here. We have our pretrial motions. So he's going back into when the Trump v. U.S. case brought up certiorari, which doesn't matter. I mean, as far as him pleading in his own case, it doesn't matter because his New York case was done before this went to the Supreme Court and hadn't answered. So his it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the deadline for affirmative defenses to be pled in New York. That's the line. That's the rule. All right. So we had multiple, see, this is what I'm saying. As I went through this, they're saying, well, we had a presidential immunity objection during Hicks' testimony. We had immunity, she's the White House communications director, so they're going to say she's got presumptive immunity, right? So there's presumptive because he was doing his work. Well, whatever. All of this happened after he was supposed to plead his affirmative defense. This all happened afterwards. So he's getting into all of this testimony. He's going into Twitter posts. He's going into how many times he tried to plead out, even the closing arguments of New York. He's pulling all of these in that came out in the trial. But again, he's too late. He's too late. He's too late. He did not plead it early enough. So we have applicable law here that they're saying, well, if there's a problem, then it can be overturned. Fine. And then he's pulling in that Supreme Court case, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. He can do that. The supremacy clause, that's fine too. He can do that. But if we're following the actual way that the rules work, not just the Supreme Court rules, but the actual rules, there's a deadline. And if you don't meet the deadline, see Marie, exactly. If you don't meet the deadline, you can't use the defense. So this whole entire motion that he's filed here regarding his immunity is all about how all of the information in his trial and that he had said, I'm immune, and was denied, should not have been denied. Meanwhile, the only answer here is just simply, you didn't plead it in time, you can't use it. Because you can have all the immunity in the world, but if you don't file the proper paperwork, you have nothing. And I'm putting that on a shirt, everybody. I'm putting that on a shirt. He seems to be able to break the rules. Well, that's the thing, Donna. That's the thing. And that goes back to my original question here. Can someone go in front of the U.S. Supreme Court and say the New York rules of criminal procedure don't apply to me because I'm the president? Now we're in a little bit different situation. This would truly be a situation where they're saying the New York rules governing affirmative defenses don't apply to him because he was the president. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, everybody? Now, again, this is the New York case. Now, he's pled it, he's pleading it in his other cases, but in the New York case, keep that in mind. As things start getting pretty crazy and things get intense and the media goes crazy on all of this, keep in your mind, he missed the deadline. Just like, his attorney not checking a box. There wasn't a box. We all went through that. But if you check the box, you check the box. He didn't check the box in time. So that's the thing. And again, if they want to reassess when the due dates are and how the law actually works for him, that's going to be a different issue. Then none of the rules apply. Exactly, C. Marie. And even in their decision, in the Trump decision, they said, well, some rules apply, just some rules don't. And they said, but they did say some rules did apply. So then the question is, do the very basic foundation of procedural rules in New York apply to him or not? Right? Because I would think New York would have a fundamental problem with the Supreme Court going in and saying their affirmative defense timeline rules are not okay. That would be an overreach of separation between federal and state power. That would be a fundamental problem. Former POTUS should have excellent attorneys. Well, right, exactly. He'll appeal, right, and he can appeal. And you may say SCOTUS will give him whatever he wants. You might. But, like I said, if the question in front of SCOTUS is this man that New York is trying to hold accountable, does not have to follow New York procedural deadlines, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a state sovereignty issue. That's a huge, huge deal. We angry at the time. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, this is going to take some time. Like I said before, we're in a very slow moving, nightmare. We're in a slow moving vehicle here. This is going to take a long time. We've got September, right? So we won't even get a sentencing until September. And then that sentencing can be appealed. And then that sentencing can be appealed then again. And so it's going to take us some time. So this probably wouldn't even hit the Supreme Court until October, right? At the earliest, unless they did some kind of an emergency situation. So we're going to be late fall. We're going to be carving pumpkins when we figure out whether or not the U.S. Supreme Court is deciding New York procedural deadlines. Oh my gosh, train wreck. Right. Right. I mean, this is the basics, everybody. This is just the very basics. We don't have a constitutional question here. This is a procedural question. And they didn't answer that. They just said, well, he's got absolute immunity on certain things. Fine. But he still needs to file his request for absolute immunity. He still needs to file that on time, doesn't he? And just because he didn't know he didn't have it doesn't mean, he gets to do it. It's not grandfathered in. That's not how the law works. So this will truly be a moment where the Supreme Court would completely rework the entire system. Anyway, so I thought I would put that out there for everybody. Of course, it's not an official act. Of course, it's not. But, the thing is, we get so far into the weeds. We jump too far into it, everyone. We jump too far into, was it official? Was it not official? Can they use the evidence? Can they not use the evidence? We're already too far down the chart. We have to start at the top. We have to start at the very top of the chart before we go too far down. Because once you get down in here, that's where the nightmares are. So back it up, back up the truck, start at the very beginning. That's what I'm saying here. For this case is what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. So that's one of my points. So that was the New York case that came out, or the New York motion. And then of course, we don't have anything new out of the Florida case since I was on TikTok the last time. So I did my big TikTok update. Can he even use the defense? Well, right. I mean, right. You can't just, you have to, even a diplomat has to say, well, I'm a diplomat, right? They have to use that. You can't just automatically, you still have to file it. It has to get filed. It's a lot, everybody, I know. It's a lot. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is getting to be a lot, especially when we don't know what the boundaries are at this point, because the Supreme Court has completely removed the boundaries that we're dealing with. So that's the other thing too, everyone, that we kind of have going on with our articles of impeachment here. I was kind of talking about this a little bit the other night on the talk. Like what happens right now, because we have two justices who are accused of breaking their oath. So how can we put anything in front of them and have any kind of reliability for it? Blanket forts, yay! Well, it's interesting. I looked up the American Bar Association because I'm like, what are we supposed to do with this? Because the Trump case is such a mess, everyone. It doesn't have really any rules in it. And so I'm like, well, what are we supposed to do now? Are all of our civil standards applying to criminal cases now? I mean, there's just a huge problem with what they've done. And I looked up the ABA and they're like, well, we just have to respect the decision. I'm like, well, but what's the decision say? Like, what does it even say? And they're like, well, we don't know. We don't know what it says. And that's like, all right, well, great, thanks Thanks very much for that, American Bar Association. Oh, it cracks me up. It cracks me up. All right, so we do have our articles of impeachment. I didn't know if anyone had questions on that. I have new crayons. Excellent. We have our articles, and then, everyone, I don't want you to forget, we have our Steve Bannon, who is in prison, right? He's still in jail right now, so there's that. That's always a moment of peace to remember. Mr. Bannon's in jail. And we have money laundering going on here as of right now. And then the other thing we had was the civil case in New York. We had some questions on whether or not that was going to be a situation because there was some question about whether or not there was inappropriate persuasion or talking going on, I guess, with Judge Mershon and some, attorney in the hallway. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on. Judge Engeron is saying, well, to the attorney that's deciding to say that our discussion was inappropriate, you can just give all of that information over then. Hope he's miserable. Yeah, well, I don't know much about New York prisons or, that area, so I don't. But also we had, speaking of miserable, we also had the Bob Menendez trial has finished. So now, as of right now, we have no jury verdict. But now I'm worried after the Baldwin situation. Now I'm like, I better look up and see if they came to a decision. No, they did have deliberations. All right, they're still deliberating as of right now. So we still have Menendez deliberating. Oh, he's in Connecticut. I just can't imagine what Connecticut prison would be like. I mean, prisons aren't great, everybody. But either way. So there's that. So Bob Menendez trial is now out for deliberations there. And then fight for your right to party. Sorry, I had to move my chair around, everybody. I have a new chair, everyone, instead of my filing cabinet, by the way. I have a brand new chair. Thank you to all my subscribers. So I'm rolling around over here while I'm reading your comments. It's not a good prison. Oh, well, there really aren't that many good ones out there, truly. X is a probation officer. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, new chair, everybody. I tell you what, I'm so excited about this chair. Oh my gosh, I thought it was time. I needed a chair just for my lives. So it's just a chair I sit in just to do my lives and my live streaming. Oh, I know. It was time. It was time. I no longer have the filing cabinet anymore. So it was time. Had to make the move. Yes, indeed. So we're excited for you. Oh, thanks, Cece. Oh, I know. It's really... it's the big, I'm on top of the world now. Yeah, I had a filing cabinet that I was sitting on for a while, but then the Trump files got too big, so I had to move to a bigger table. So I haven't been back to the filing cabinet in a while. So I'm okay with that. Oh my gosh. Yes, of course. Oh, with rodents, yes. Well, and lots of different kinds of rodents, too. Find it on the TikTok shop and sponsor it. Really? Oh, I don't know. I'm just, I'm shy about it. It's just my chair, just for fun. It doesn't have to be. Oh, my gosh. We can hook you with a stop. No, we're good. I'm very excited about it because it moves around now. So it's easier for me to get all my stuff. I'm very excited about that. A she shed. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, you all are so sweet. I tell you what, I'm just like organizing like nobody's business. I've organized my pens and I've got a little cart here. I'm getting for real, for serious, for the summer. I'm getting for seriouses. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. So, feel bad for the rodents in there. I know. Oh my gosh, everybody. Well, yeah, we got, yeah, it's stressful, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So I will just keep you posted on what's happening in the New York case because, again, this is just about evidence being put out there. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know. This ring, this is Amazon. This is an Amazon ring here, and I can't remember this one. I cannot remember where this one is. Put those pens on tethers. Oh, I know. Everybody, seriously, I can't. I've still lost some of my Supreme Court justices. That's so funny. Oh, I've lost a couple of things. Yeah, the whole was out. But we made it back. We made it back. It's all right. We're still coming together. We'll make it work in the end. But that's really all I had. The only other thing, and I'm just like looking through my paperwork, everyone, to make sure we've got updates on everything. I don't really have much else. I have to say though, everyone, I'm cutting my time down on the talk. I'm cutting my time down on the TikTok right now because it's getting a little bit too it's getting rough over there. I kissed into it. That's funny. Yeah, he's just totally he's loafed over on the stool. Oh, go read to the baby. Oh. Well, have a lovely night. Have a lovely night. Yes, things are getting a little bit hectic. It's starting to get pretty forceful. So I'm probably going to change my schedule. I'm still going to do my sub chat Sundays for sure, of course. And I will be, Achilles. Yeah, I know. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably just do a live, like a planned live, just once a week on Wednesdays. I've been even kind of hopping on and off here and there. And so I think what I'll do is just the planned Wednesday lives. And then if there's like a breaking document, then I'll hop on. But other than that, I think I'm going to have to take a little bit of a break from the talk. Oh, I'm not leaving. I've got to move over from the talk. I'm still on TikTok for sure, everyone, but the environment there is getting very, very hostile. So, oh yeah, no, everything is safe. It's just a matter of, I just want to make sure that people are getting something out of the lives. I don't want it to kind of turn into just a huge fight. And there's not as many trolls over here. Exactly, Kaya. So my plan is Wednesdays on the talk, and then Fridays I'll be live streaming, and then I'll probably bump my YouTube lives up to twice a week. And then I've got my sub chat Sundays on the TikTok. So that's probably how I do too, Vicky. That's probably how I will go forward. So just kind of mark, the only thing is on YouTube is there's a community tab where I can write a note on when I'm going to be live streaming. And so I'll probably do that there and just let you know. But just to give you a heads up, and again, I'll probably need to make a full post about this, but we will have here. Okay, we'll do our sub chat Sundays always, because that's always super fun to do. That's always a really good time for everybody, I think. We'll do our sub chat Sundays, then we'll do our regular Wednesdays lives over there. And then I will do any bonus just if there's a new important order. So for any new orders. And then I will be on Fridays on the tube. So Fridays here, and then I'm hoping to bump it to twice a week soon. Oh yeah, everybody's doing they do a great. I know, Jennifer. I know. I feel that way too. And my moderators. I mean, that's the other thing too, is that the moderators that I have work so hard, and I know that they can come in and take care of business, but I also am like, they shouldn't have to deal with that kind of stuff either at this level. We got to kind of figure out how to get it backed off a little bit, is what I'm trying to say. Videos 13 minutes or longer, you can monetize. Yeah, I can monetize YouTube. I am kind of in the process of that. So like I said, I had planned to do a full launch September 1st. So that's probably when I will have my full monetization launch going on. So right now I'm just kind of in the interim because I've got, legal stuff to do, legal stuff I've got to finish up. And YouTube is kind of doing this weird restructuring thing anyway. So, but I will, and I'm not gonna, it should be just fine. So, okay, I'm glad you asked. That's so sweet of you to ask. The other thing too, everyone, is that I am going to have a full Patreon account up and going too. And I will be doing, that's where I would like to go to do podcasts. So I'm getting that set up also, so I can kind of get it wrapped up into kind of a bundle, but that'll also be with my bigger launch come September. So, September 1st was originally supposed to be the launch, but I'm moving to YouTube early. But come September, I will have a podcast situation going on there, which I'm extremely excited about. And Patreon looks amazing. I should have grabbed in onto that earlier. But so I'll be over on the Patreon, and then I'll be doing the YouTube. That should be monetized come September. Still on the talk, everybody. No problems with that. But I'm just kind of branching out a little bit here. So hoping everyone will follow if they're interested. So I'm really looking forward to it. Helping in the background or whatever. Oh, that's so sweet, everybody. Oh, that's so, so sweet. I appreciate it so very, very, very much. I truly, truly do. I truly do appreciate it. And it's making it possible so that I can expand. I was able to hire a couple of very, very part-time workers to kind of come in and help me with my filing, because my filing was getting out of control. So I'm getting some help now with my filing, and I'm extremely excited about it. I wish I could say I was paying them more than minimum wage, but I'm not. But at least it's something, right? It's a little summer job. My super chat, yeah, I need to work on it. I still don't have everything set on YouTube, so I've got to get that going. I've got several things I got to get going on YouTube. A lot of the restructuring, I had to turn a whole bunch of stuff off and then turn it back on again, so some stuff just didn't go back on again. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a high school kid, so it's not a lot. But it's something, right? It's something, and they're learning something too. The big thing is also having a lot of help with Project 2025. I've needed some help with that, so making it through that. Okay, I will. I've got to do that, to do the super chat, to turn it on. Should I try to see if I can do it right now? I don't know if I can do it. Can I do it right now? Hello, everybody. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. I don't think I can. Nope, I don't think I can at this point. I'll have to go back in and redo it. Yeah, I've got to reset all of that. Yeah, I had to kind of work all of it around. Have you had cases that was mistrial, forgery? Remember that the defendant with unanimous didn't understand the verdict sheet? Oh, that's interesting. Where you've had a misunderstanding on a jury form. We have had some of those on the verdict forms where there have been issues. We have had some cases like that. Let me see if I can pull them. Okay, yeah, it's not working for me at the moment. Our ways to pay. Really, I tell you what, I'm just not good. I'm not good with the tube yet, everybody. I'm still kind of flailing around over here, so I will have to work on that. But let me see if I can get it set up for next time for sure. Oh, all right, that's the Karen Reed trial. I got you. Okay, I got you. Ooh, double jeopardy. Oh my gosh. All right, let me take a look. I should take a look at the Karen now that we've kind of stepped back a little bit, I have to just dabble lightly in the Trump stuff right now because it's just too much. So what I might do is just take a peek into that. I might take a peek, see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So this is going to be my schedule, everyone, for the next couple of weeks for sure. Get your questions on now before she starts. No! No. I mean, I'm not planning to to advance too far on the tube for another 6 weeks. Actually, is when my schedule was. So we'll see. We'll see. I really haven't gotten all my paperwork finished that I need to do. So yeah, it's a mess. I've seen it's a mess. That's why I've kind of been like, I don't want to watch. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. I'll take a peek. But I will be back over posting on the talk. I still am working my way through Project 2025. Everybody, that got hot fast. Did anyone else notice that? Project 2025, people are posting about it left and right now, and I'm just loving every bit of it. I'm absolutely loving that. I think the more posts, the better. I think that's fantastic. So we're a hybrid now, Kristen. We're a hybrid. We're definitely over on the talk, but we will be just branching out. So I will keep my posts going. I probably will post a little bit less over the next week or so, but we'll just see. Backpedaling. Oh, I know it blew up. I know. Oh, we love it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it did. I kind of feel too like honestly, like the pressure for me to do so many posts so quick is kind of a little bit less. And so that's kind of nice. I've been appreciating that a little bit. So we'll be doing that. But at this point, I will go ahead and sign off for tonight, everyone. I will be back for my sub chat Sunday, okay? Community messages I will have up here on YouTube, so you can add a comment. If you put a comment on any of my YouTube posts, I get it immediately. I have it because I have less people on YouTube. I'm able to get those comments immediately. So if you need to contact me through YouTube, if it's not working through TikTok or whatever, just leave me a message and I'll get it immediately. It's just a lot quicker and easier over here. So feel free to do that. Just feel absolutely free to do that for sure. But I will be back for my sub chat on Sunday. I'll do my lives on TikTok on Wednesdays, back here on the tube on Fridays. So with that, I will go ahead and sign off for tonight, everyone. I might go play some pinball. Haven't decided yet. I'm really glad people have seen the importance. That just makes me extremely, extremely happy. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all again very soon. Okay, take care, everyone.